Welcome to algebra concept of linear equation, and today we're going to discuss three ways or three forms that linear equation is written. So the first, we're going to look at the standard form ax plus by equals c. Okay, let's start with a, b, and c. Well, a, b, and c are constant, or they always, in other words, they always numbers. And x and y are always variables. Here is the example. 3x plus 2y equals -6. Next form of linear equation is called point slope intercept. Let's look for the name and the name of this form and whether we can get some clues from its title. Okay, let's start with this slope. Well, where is the slope in my equation? It's always marked as m. Well, it's right here. Slope. Okay, intercept. Where is the intercept? Intercept is b. That's why it's called slope intercept, because slope intercept are already given. Here is the example. Y equals 3 over 2x minus 3. So here is your slope. And here is your y-intercept. Look how I included this negative with the 3, because this negative belongs to 3. So you have a negative y-intercept. Next one is called a point slope. Again, what does the name has to do with the formula? Look at the first term, point. Now we know that when we have a point, it establishes relationship between x and y, and they're written as x comma y. Well, let's look at our equation. Do we have one point or we have more than one? Well, here is the first one. And here is the second one. So we have 2 points here. Now slope is expressed as same thing as m. Well, here we go. We have slope present in front of the second parenthesis, x minus x1. And here is the example. Remember, x and y, right here, listen to this one. This x and y, this one, are always variable. But this x and this y and this m are all numbers. They're all numbers. So your point slope form would look like this. Y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 x plus 2. Okay, so this is the slope. This is your slope, and this is your y2, y1, and this one is the x1. So now let's move on to the next one, how to use the intercept. There are 2 of them. This is the y-intercept. This is y-intercept, y-intercept. Or vertical intercept, and this is the horizontal intercept or x-intercept. And how to create a graph when we know x-intercept and y-intercept. X-intercept and y-intercept. Okay, so the first thing is you have to ask yourself, so in order to graph a line, you need to you have to remember all you need is 2 points. You have to have 2 points to create a good line, because 3 it will be 1 extra. 2 will do just fine. You just need only 2. 1 though is not enough, because 1 can be, you can put a line like this, you can also put line like this, and then you can put another line through this point like that. So 1 is not enough. You need to have 2. You need to have 2 points. So this is what we're talking about. So my first point will be y-intercept, and my second point will be x-intercept. So let's start with the y-intercept and how the concept and property of y-intercept will allows us to find the y value, right? Because if we know y value, we have a point and we can graph it, and then we can have an x value. We can have this point on the graph, and we have 2 points. So now let's go ahead and copy down this equation: 3x plus 2y equals 12. I just copied from here. So if I were use my concept of y-intercept, I know that x is equals to 0. Look at this. X is equals to 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, instead of this x, okay, I'm going to plug in 0. So I have 3 times, so instead of x, I'm going to plug in 0, plus 2y equals 12. 3 times 0 is 0, so this is gone. Now all I have to do is solve it for y. This is gone. Divided everything by 2, and y equals to 6. So if the y is 6, my first point is 0, 6. Let's find this on the graph. So 0, 6, that means the point is located on the y-axis. Here is y equals 6. I got my first point. Here you go. Now my second point, I'm going to again use my concept of x-intercept, where the y is always equals to 0. Plug this value for y in this equation. So instead of y, we're going to plug in its value 0, it's this one, and solve it. 2 times 0 is 0, so good for us, this is all gone. Leaves me with 3x equals 12. Divide both sides by 3 because I'm solving for x. I want the x by itself, and the x is 4. So my second point is 4, 0. So let's graph my second point, 4, 0. So 4, so this is the x-intercept, so we're going to sit on the x-axis. Here is my point. All I need is 2 points to do my line, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my line through those 2 points. Here is my equation: 3x plus 2y equals 12. So now let's go ahead and graph linear equation using slope-intercept form. So okay, so again, here is the slope-intercept form we discussed. We said that slope-intercept form, there's a clue in the name. Slope is m, and intercept is b. Same thing as y. Same thing as y value on the y-axis. So if if we go to graph this equation, we're gonna graph this equation right here. Okay, 3 of y equals 3x, 2 over 3x plus 3. We need to know how to graph the slope and how to graph the y-intercept. That will give us 2 points. This one will give us a first point. Okay, this is going to give us the first point, and this will going to give us the second point. And after we have those 2 points, we can just connect the dots and we have the line. Okay, now here is the concept of a slope. So let's go ahead and look at my equation. My slope is 2 over 3, right? What is my y? Is positive 3. So let's go ahead and graph it. Now, if you remember, you always start with the slope intercept, with the y-intercept. Always start your, plot this first. Start here. Okay, so what it means is that my b or my y is 3. So on the y-axis, I'm going to find 3. Here's my first point. Now I'm going to use, I'm gonna move on to the this one, okay, and use 2 over 3 to graph my second point. Now remember that slope is rise over run, right? Slope is rise over run. I'm gonna keep on going here. So it's a rise over run, or traveling y over x. So from here, we're gonna go, our rise is 2, so we're gonna go up 2 points from here. From here, people go from the 0, 0. No, don't make this mistake. You always start counting your slope from your y-intercept. So from 3, we're gonna go 2 up. That's your rise. Your rise is going either up or down, and your run is left and right. So we're gonna go, my y is positive 2, so we're gonna go up 2, and my run is 3, so I'm gonna go positive direction 3. Here is my 2 points. All I gotta do is connect the dots, and here's my equation: y equals 2 over 3x plus 3. Okay, I listed 4 examples. Let's go ahead and graph each line. So let's start with this one, where the slope and y-intercept are in blue. So I'm going to use blue marker to graph this line. Okay. So first of all, where are the 2 points going to come from? So the first point is going to come from your y-intercept, your b. Your b is negative 2. And the second point is going to come from your slope, which is 3 over 2, or y over x. Okay, so let's go. Always start with your y-intercept. So on the y-axis, I'm going to find negative 2. Negative 2. This is my first point. That's my first point. I'm going to keep my marker here, and from here I'm going to use my slope. I'm going to use the slope. 3 over 2. This is run. Excuse me, this is rise, and this is run. So rise going up or down, depending if positive or negative, and x is going left or right. Positive or negative. So I'm going to use 3. So we're going to go up 3, and then I'm going to do run 2, which will take me here. Here's my second point. I'm going to connect my dots, and I have my line y equals 3 over 2x minus 2. Okay, let's go graph the next one. Again, first, what is your y-intercept? What's your b? What's your y? Y is negative 2. Okay, let's do positive 2. Positive 2, because we already did negative 2. Okay, positive 2. And my slope is negative 1 over 2. So here is my slope. My slope is m. Now here is the question. Sometimes people say, well, if the negative in front of the fraction, does negative belong to numerator or denominator or both? It's either numerator or denominator. I always push it up to numerator. Okay, you see how was it in front, and now I pushed it up to numerator because it's easier to graph. Okay, so let's go and graph it now. Red. First thing, find the y-intercept. Here is the y-intercept, 2 right here. From here, I'm going to use my slope. My slope is negative 1 over 2. My rise is negative. So I'll be going down on the y-axis to 1, and then I'm going to go to the right 2 because my x or my run is positive. So I'm going to go down 1 and over 2 right here. Down 1 and over 2. Here is my 2 points. Now I can create my line. My line is y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 2. Okay, let's go for the next one. I'm gonna do it in green. So again, first my y-intercept, my b is negative 1. Awesome. Now my second point will be derived from the slope. Slope is 3, but wait a minute, I know my slope has to be the rise over run, or x over y, or same thing as x over y. So where I see x, where's the y? Well, put it over 1, and here is your x over 1. Both x and y are positive, so we're going to go 3 units to up and 1 unit to the right. Okay, let's graph it. So start with negative 1. Always start with the y-intercept. On the y-axis, find negative 1. Here is your point. Put a dot right here. So from here, again, don't return to 0, 0. Stay on your y-intercept. Use this as your new start point. Go up 1 on the y-axis because your rise is 1 and 3 run. So here is your 2 points right here, green one. Connect them, and here is your graph. Y equals 3x minus 1. And lastly, this one again, y-intercept. My y is same thing as b is 3. This is my first point. My second point will obtain once I figure out what's my what's my slope. My slope is negative 2, but what happened to the run? Introduce 1, negative 2 over 1. So my slope is 2 down and 1 to the right because my y is negative. So I'm gonna go. I will be traveling down the y-axis. Okay, so let's actually do it. So on the y-axis, find 3. It's already taken, that's fine. We can reuse it again. Here is my first point. From here, I will have to go down 2. So 1, 2, and over 1. Rise is still positive. Run is still positive. Rise is negative. We're going down because negative. Here's my negative y's. So we're going to go down, and my run is positive 1. So I'm going to go to the 1 to the right. So here are my orange lines. Sorry, should be a little bit more straighter. And this is y equals negative 2x plus 3. Thank you for watching this video. Send me a comment or questions. Thank you.